New details on Death Stranding 2, a new DualSense announced, Death Stranding 3 is possible, and more. Here's 5 PlayStation news that you need to know about Kojima's next masterpiece. We start with new details on Death Stranding 2 from the media previews Kojima Productions held recently. The game is set 11 months after the first game. Sam is now living a quiet life with his BB, and he takes on a request from Fragile traveling to Mexico, and after an incident he ends up in Australia with the task of connecting a fractured society again. The story is more straightforward than the first game, unfolding faster and also giving you access to new tools, equipment and structures to get going earlier. Anyone who doesn't remember the first game can catch up with the Death Stranding recap, and much like Final Fantasy XVI, when a term comes up, you can look for what it means on the corpus feature in-game. Death Stranding 2 was running on a standard PS5, not a Pro, with performance mode at what seems like a solid 60 FPS, as there are no complaints on performance. The game's soundtrack is outstanding, just like the first one, or maybe even better. In terms of gameplay, you have more choice and freedom for strategy and making decisions due to the wide variety of equipment that is available at the start. You can travel in the same way by foot, bike, car and other means. Combat has a huge improvement, and above all, stealth. Gunplay is said to feel more rewarding, and among the weapons that you can use there are bola guns, firearms, electrified poles, smoke grenades to enable your escape, or BT grenades to scare enemies. You can also skip combat areas with your vehicles. Now, stealth is compared to how Kojima evolved from Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 2, or the open-ended approach you had in Metal Gear Solid 5. Sam is much more capable of taking a camp only with stealth. There are new enemies in the game as well, including new types of BTs. For example, there's a watcher that detects Sam through, well, watching instead of just hearing. An important thing to take into account when making deliveries is the new hazards in the environment. At any point there could be an earthquake, storm, flood, wildfire and so on, so you need to be prepared. Besides, there's a day-night cycle allowing you to take a more strategic approach with deliveries. Some abilities also improve different here and more like how you upgraded weapons in the first game. In the first game your skills got better with the grades in your deliveries, but now if you travel on foot frequently, Sam will eventually get better and traverse through terrain faster. You can do some manual upgrades for some of your skills using the APA system, as you can spend memories that you get through the game to enhance Porter, Combat, Stealth or Servicemanship. Memories are limited, so you must make a decision on which areas to invest them. Everything sounds really awesome so far, and I like a lot what I hear about Combat and Stealth, since those were my least favorite things in the first game. It seems that this could be another Game of the Year contender, but we're gonna have to wait until June 26 or 24 with early access on PS5 to find out. Now, what do you think about all of these details, and what's your hype level for Death Stranding 2? Let me know in the comments. So, Death Stranding 2 sounds amazing so far, but how long is the game going to be and how it compares to the first game? Well, we got that answer from Eurogamer's preview, which said that during their hands-on sessions they had the chance to play about 30 hours, and they estimate that would be around 40% of the full game. Doing some math here, that means the game is likely over 70 hours to complete, meaning that it would double the time you needed to finish the story in the first game. But there's also a chance it could take less or even more, since this is an open world game and it would depend on how much you explore as well. I think it's a length that will require commitment, but for us fans who love the first one, there should be plenty to make those $70 worth it. But let me know what you think. Is 70 hours enough for you in a game like this? Sound off in the comments. Now, Sony is launching a new Death Stranding 2 DualSense controller. Here's everything that you need to know. The new limited edition black DualSense controller will sport the Drawbridge logo, the new company that Sam is working for on the sequel, plus some game design in each handle and the game's logo on the back. It will be priced at $85 or the equivalent in your region. Pre-orders begin May 22nd at PlayStation Direct stores in participating countries and at participating retailers. It is expected to launch on June 26 with the game's release, but the release date may vary depending on the region. I really like the design in this one, the price matches previous limited edition controllers, and it doesn't seem to be impacted by tariffs. The only issue will be fighting scalpers as always. Now, what do you think about this new Death Stranding 2 theme controller? Will you pick one up? Tell me in the comments. Now, Hideo Kojima also confirmed the industry's fears surrounding Grand Theft Auto 6, and it even applied to his game. In the creator's most recent podcast, he commented about the fact that most studios were trying to release their games far away from November, because that was when GTA 6 was likely to launch, before the delay to 2026 was announced. He even compared it to the release of a Mission Impossible movie, that upon release no other film would compete with it and look to release at another time. Well, it turns out Death Stranding 2's release date was decided a long time ago, given the game's good progress, and there are no issues with the June release date, but Kojima originally wanted to release in September. Sony likely recommended an earlier release date, not only because they thought GTA 6 was launching in November, but also because they were planning to release Ghost of Yotei this fall. In the podcast, Kojima also mentioned that at the time of recording that episode in mid-April, Death Stranding 2 was 95% complete, and they were focusing on bug fixes with the hopes of finishing the game by the week of May 5th. They haven't announced it yet, but I'm pretty sure that they will say the game has reached goal in the next 2 weeks. Now, what do you think about Kojima's comments on GTA and the release date that they ended up choosing? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, we're really close to that Death Stranding 2 release, but Hideo Kojima also talked about the possibility of a sequel. Warning, because there are some minor spoilers ahead. This happened at the game's preview event, where the creator revealed that he has a concept for a third game. Death Stranding 2 uses portals for some bridges to travel long distances between Mexico and Australia, and Kojima indicates that using this concept there could be infinite sequels, and while he obviously has no plans for that, he does have a concept for a third game in the series. Despite that, he has no plans of working on another Death Stranding. Let's remember that he has OD with Xbox and Fizzing with PlayStation in the pipeline, and those could be the last games he makes in his career. But he also said that he could pass this concept on for someone else to work on it. Now, I don't think we have to worry about that Death Stranding 3 since we have still the full second game to go through, but what do you think? Would you like a third game in the series? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And that's all for today on this PlayStation News special Death Stranding 2 episode. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one.